all on mute for the time being. We had about 20 people registered, so I don't know if all 20 will show up, but just in case, it makes it a little easier for me to kind of manage things if I keep you on mute for the time being. And then you can go into the questions or the chat box to prompt any thoughts or questions along the way. And it just allows me to manage things. At the end, I will open it up to questions and give everybody the chance who wants to use a microphone to do so. And I'll be honestly pretty short and sweet here. I want to give you show you how to use these tools and give you some tips on how to make them engaging. But a lot of this is going to come from you just practicing doing it. So I want to give you that confidence to be able to do that, to go in and practice if you haven't already been doing so. All right. So what we're going to do is well, you know what? I'm going to even take a step back here. I went to Screencast-O-Matic, but in case you don't know how to do that, I'm just opening it up. I'm going into Google. I'm typing in Screencast-O-Matic. And I am a big fan of free products. I don't want to have to pay for something. So anything I present in any kind of tech tools or anything like this, it's almost 99% of the time it's free, okay? Or there's a free version at least that you can use. The free version of Screencast-O-Matic allows you to record your screen for up to 15 minutes. And you can record as you can see here, just your screen, just your webcam, or both of you. And there is the option to log in or sign up. You can do that, and you can still have a free version if you sign up. But you don't have to. Honestly, you can just click the Start Recording button. It'll launch the recorder application for you. And I'm using a Mac, so it might look a little different for your Windows. But basically, you have to hit OK to say, yeah, I want to actually use this tool. And it's going to pop up a kind of gridded line screen that we'll see here in a second. And that gridded line screen allows me to choose what part of my screen I want to show. So if I only want to show, one small component, I can shrink that screen to show that small component. If I want to show my whole screen, I can maximize it to the whole screen. So I have options there. All right, so now we can see, here's this kind of gridded line. And I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger. It kind of maximized it to about the size of my Firefox here. So I'm going to go a little bigger because I want to show you a few more things. And I'm going to actually make a screencast here. So you can see here's our options, right? I'm showing just the screen right now. I could click webcam, and you'll see me popping up on the webcam here. I'm going to record just the webcam. Actually, right now, it's not allowing me to do that just because I'm using the webcam for the GoToWebinar. But normally, it'll connect directly to your webcam, or you could have both. And if you're using both, again, it would have my webcam here. You can actually click on and move around the webcam, so you can put yourself in a different spot. You can make yourself bigger or smaller. So it allows you to do that. Once you're ready to start recording, I'm going to actually pull something else up because I want to do a little bit of show you how you can do this with like a slideshow. So once you're ready to start doing that, you will hit this record button here. And give me 1 second to put myself into presentation mode. There we go. All right, what I'm going to do instead, because I'm having my own issues here with my own computer, I can then address this by just kind of shrinking my screen. So I cannot remember, because I haven't used this in a while, how to do it in the presentation mode. So I can do it this way. And then you'll see on the actual tool how to do that. So I'm going to hit record. So it's going to record a screencast on Screencast-O-Matic that we will also see as well. So hit record. It starts recording with the countdown. And now it says go. So I'm going to give you a quick presentation on how to do some engaging videos, depending on whether you're using just the webcam, if you're using the webcam and the screen, or just the screen. So again, the key here is we really want to engage people. And to do that, one of the key things you're going to do, especially if you're only using yourself, is to be active. Okay? And that's why I got this little running man here. I want you to be active on the screen. It's like if you've ever done theater or you've watched a play. If the actor doesn't kind of go over the top, you can't tell from the audience, right? So it's the same thing on camera. Go a little bit over the top. Just not too much, but a little bit over the top is a good thing. It actually provides a little more energy to your video, a little more passion. We have a tendency, if you're not used to being on camera, to kind of be very kind of monotone, very stale, very boring. So be active. Plan yourself an opportunity to be active. Second point I want to make about this is, I put a mirror here because I want you to be you. Doesn't have to be perfect. The videos don't have to be perfect. That's the biggest mistake people make when they try to create online videos. They want it to be perfect. They want this amazing production value. The reality is your students will appreciate it more if they feel like they connect to you. That is probably the biggest benefit that you will get out of creating videos, is your students will feel a connection, especially in an online class where it's so easy to feel disconnected because I don't see people. I don't feel that presence. Don't pick up those nonverbal cues and that emotional component. The video allows you to do that, but only if you're you. If you pretend, if you try to be so perfect that it doesn't come across as you, it's not going to benefit. The students aren't going to get that benefit. They're going to feel cold. They're not going to feel that connection. So if you make little mistakes, that's okay. I mean, if you make a huge mistake, and you say the wrong thing, then feel free to redo it. But don't feel like it has to be perfect. Be you. Okay. So to engage, as I said before, we want to be active, and you want to be you, especially when you're doing the video things. One other little mini thing you can do with videos. Then there's actually research around this, and I could share with you if you're interested. But people find those on online videos who show their hands to be more trustworthy, and they're more confident in those people based on this research. So it's a little minor thing, but if you can find a way to say, hey, here's 2 things I want to teach you, and I hold up 2 fingers and I say number 1, and I point out the number 1. I'm using my hands. I'm creating that environment where they're going to feel a little more connected to me. Very simple things. Be active. Be you. Find ways to use your hands. Now, if you're going to use more of the screen itself, and maybe it's using a PowerPoint, maybe it's using a Prezi, maybe it's using something else, whatever you want to show on your screen, I would encourage you to do a couple of things. One is focused on the visuals. So I just want you to all think for a second. I'm going to take a quick 2-second break here. I want you to think of an apple. Now, my guess is that when I said think of an apple, in your mind's eye, you pictured an apple. You didn't picture the word apple or the letters apple. You thought of pictures. And honestly, that's how our brains work. We tend to see things in images. Online learning, it's easier to put things into text because it allows me to get the message across that I want to get across. Images can have different meanings to people, right? But the words, that limits that misinterpretation. Limits it. It's still possible, but it limits it. But visuals are something that can be much more powerful from a learning standpoint. And when you're creating videos, again, that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just create a screen full of words that you read off to them. You want to create visuals that allow them to connect with whatever concept, idea, term you're trying to present. Or maybe it's, the image of week 1, this is what we're going to do. And you pull up the image of Canvas and work from that. But there's a lot of different ways, but focus on, what kind of image is going to be most interesting and most useful for them. And then you want to deconstruct that image. So we have this Lego guy slowly being deconstructed here in this image here. So one thing I do when I'm showing a video of maybe a difficult concept, because that's one way you can use videos. It could be like a weekly overview, like I mentioned. Another way could be, hey, there's this concept everybody struggles with. And I'll show you some examples in a little bit. But if I'm trying to teach a difficult concept, I might just put up an image or a diagram of that concept and talk about it. And I can move my cursor around to say, first we take off the guy's hat, then we take off his hair, and then we take off his, and I can talk about the deconstruction here and pull apart the concept through this message. Okay? So again, key points that I want you to get to help create more engaging videos. 1, be active. Be a little bit over the top, right? 2, be you. 3, within the individual one, feel free to use your hands a little bit. 4, create visuals if you're using the screen itself. Don't just have more words. Words are okay, but it shouldn't be just words. Create something visual there to connect with them and to engage them. And then use those visuals to kind of deconstruct those visuals to really explain these concepts. So they're not just there for fun, but they're actually there to help you learn. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop this recording. As you can see, when I say I paused it, now I'm going to hit the done button. And we can preview this, and I want to just do a quick preview because I want to show you one quick thing. See this yellow circle here? Anytime I use my cursor, it provides a yellow circle. So you'll see it. So I'm going to give you a quick presentation on how to do some engaging videos, depending on what. We're going to jump ahead a little bit here. And you can see, again, as I move my cursor, the circle moves with it. So if you really want to, again, emphasize something important there, use that cursor as your tool. Now, what I finally do with these Screencast-O-Matics, and again, Screencast-O-Matic, as long as you have a webcam built into your computer and a microphone, or if you don't even have a microphone, what I like to use actually is just some headphones that have microphones built in. So if you have an iPhone, for example, or many Android phones, they come with headphones that actually have microphones built into them. A lot of people don't know that, but those white earbuds that iPhones come with, they actually have microphones built into that little thing that has the volume button on it, has a microphone, so you can use those. You can also find them pretty cheap. Sometimes those things break. I bought a 3-pack recently for like $10 on Amazon. So you can get these things to be able to do those. Now, I like to then post mine onto YouTube. You do have the option to upload them to Screencast-O-Matic. If you do that, you will need an account. So if you decide that's the way you want to go, that's fine. Just make sure you've created an account for yourself. Or you can save the video to your personal computer. It will take up space on your computer, but if you're the kind of person who really wants to edit it and make it a little better, that's your best option because you can pull it up in whatever tool you use for editing. Again, the simplest way though is just to upload to YouTube. So I'm going to click that. It's going to pull up some options for me on how to publish it. It's going to say whose account, and I've connected my account here. If you haven't done that yet, it will walk you through how to connect your YouTube account. And in a minute, we'll go to YouTube and take a look just in case anybody needs that. I give it a title. Come on. And I don't want it to call it Recording 11. I want to call it Online Video Best Practices, we'll call it. Okay, so I changed the name. I can add a description or tags. That's not really necessary. One other thing you might be very interested in is the privacy, and this is the privacy on YouTube. Right now it's public, which means that any of you could go on and search for online video best practices, and there's a chance you'll find this video. You might find other ones as well, but anyone can find it just by searching. If I don't want anyone to be able to find it, I can change this to either private or unlisted. Now, the best thing to do is actually avoid private, because if you set it to private, you have to give everyone who you want to watch it specific permission. So if you have 15 students in your class, you'd have to email each one that session, give their email access the permission to view it. And the next time you want to use this, you got to do that all over again. So what I encourage people to do, if they're uncomfortable with sharing it, is going again to this unlisted option. Because what that does is you can't search for it, but anyone who has the link can access it. So what you do then is I unlist it. I'm going to publish it. And when it's done publishing, which is probably going to take a minute or so, just because it's a little longer video, it's about 5 minutes. So the longer the video, the longer it's going to take. But once it's up there, it's going to give me a hyperlink. So it's going to be that http:///YouTube and then a bunch of other random letters. And I can take that hyperlink and I can just copy it, paste it into Canvas, whether it's via an announcement or a new page. And if once I put that in there, I hit the enter button once, Canvas will actually embed that right into your screen. So what that means when I say embed is that it creates that nice little box that the students just have to press the triangle play button on, and it plays it for them right there. In today's day and age, even with adult learners, we all kind of have that expectation. We want it to be simple, right? We want to be able to just press play. And if we have to press too many things, we get distracted. It's not worth it. You get frustrated. Why isn't this working for me? So you want to make it as simple as possible for them. So by copying and pasting that link right into Canvas, hit the enter button, and then it will automatically embed it for you. So they just have to press play. And again, that's going to be the easiest route to do so. All right. I want to take a minute before we jump into YouTube and just see, are there any questions? You can pop them right in the chat box or the question thing on how to use Screencast-O-Matic so far. Again, we walked through just kind of starting Screencast-O-Matic, getting the recording starter, moving things around a little bit, and now publishing it to YouTube. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? You can just type them in, and I'll take a minute to see if you guys have any. All right, doesn't look like there's any questions right now. If you do have questions, just pop them in there, and I will take a minute to stop. I want to jump over to YouTube to show you how to just get things. If you have another video, for example, if you have another tool, or if you use something else, how do you create these videos on YouTube itself? So I'm going to shrink this down and go back to my web browser here. And I'm going to, again, go to the search box, type in YouTube. And one of the cool things about our BayPath email is you might have noticed that it connects to a Gmail account for your email, and it connects to the Google Drive, and all of these tools are Google-based. YouTube itself is a Google-based tool. So what we can do then, I'm on my Gmail account here, but what I'm going to do is show you that I can go to my BayPath email. So to sign in, I can do tmorales@baypath.edu, hit next. It's going to ask me to sign in on the BayPath thing. And now I can use my own BayPath account. So if you don't want to use a personal account, you want to use your BayPath account for YouTube, you have it. Or you don't want to set up a YouTube account on your own, you have this option again. Just by having a BayPath email, you can use Google here. You can use YouTube. You have a YouTube account as well. So if, for example, as I said before, the Screencast-O-Matic is already, it's loading it directly into YouTube for me. So that is done. I don't even have to do anything there. But let's say I want to come back and find that video. What I can do then, and I'm going to, because it's under a different video tool for me, I'm going to go back to that one. And on the left-hand side here is I'll go to my channel. And all of your videos will be either here. You can see the first few most recent videos, or you can always click this Video Manager button to find your videos in YouTube. And it'll show all of the videos. So you can see this one here. Here's the online video best practices that we did before, and it's still almost done. It's not quite there. Once it's done, though, again, this tells me it's unlisted. I'll be able to click on it. It'll give me the link here. Oh, there it is. I can copy it. And I can go into Canvas and paste it, and I can share that video. Okay. If, again, before you want to use YouTube with some other type of video, you want to upload something, you can use just this upload button. You do have to have the video files on your computer. So say you used a tool on your webcam to record something, you would find them and you would either search for them, or you could even, if I open up my kind of media box here, should be coming in a second. If I have a video file, I can just click on it. It's going a little slow right now. I could, if this was, here's my recordings. I can just click on this and drag it over and let go, and it will load it in. So it's even that simple to upload them. Okay. So you can use YouTube both of those ways. You could either, I think the easiest way is to use Screencast-O-Matic because it gives you the same tools that YouTube does. But this is another option if you wanted to go directly through YouTube. One last thing I want to show you, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can show you me more. Where is my webcam? Oh, there we go. So I'm holding my cell phone here, and I actually have text open, so I'm going to change that. But I use an iPhone. But whether you use an iPhone or whether you use a Google Android phone, they both have the option for a YouTube app. So I'm going to go to my YouTube app. You can see it's loading up right now. And it signed me in. If you haven't used it before, you will have to put your sign in, and you can use your BayPath sign in to do that. But if you want to make a video directly from your cell phone, it's actually pretty easy. Give me 1 second here so I can manage this. So again, it brings you to this home page, which is the home. And if you click the person, it's going to take it to you. Now what you'll see here, right right there is supposed to be a camera. So I'm going to click on that. And it's going to show all my videos. I clicked on the wrong spot, I believe. So I'm going to click on that camera one more time. This is what should happen when I click on the camera. It allows me to record. I can click this record button. And now you can see I'm recording my screen. I'm recording myself. I'm recording a variety of different things here. I hit stop record button. Unfortunately, on my phone right now, I don't have enough space. But had I had enough space, it would actually publish those directly to YouTube for me, to my YouTube account. So if you're like, hey, I just saw something really cool, on the street that relates to my concepts, or I really need to get that video up right now, you can do it directly from your cell phone. So just as a quick reminder on what we covered today. One, you can use Screencast-O-Matic. You can use it to record just yourself, like I kind of am doing right here with my video, record the screen itself, or do both. Two, you can also use YouTube to just upload videos that you may have. Three, you can use your cell phone to create videos. Any of those allow you to use YouTube and or Screencast-O-Matic to make some videos. Now, we also talked about some simple tools to be more engaging. One, be active. Two, be you. Three, use your hands. Four, create visuals that are, again, number 5, can be deconstructed and used. And then, upload this stuff and share it with your students. Okay. All right, before I show you some examples, I just want to take another chance. Is there any questions? Okay. So I'll show you, we can do a lot of different things with videos. I've been encouraging people a lot this first time through to focus on overview videos. So I had someone ask me, can you repeat how to upload videos from the computer to YouTube? And yep, I can definitely do that real quick. All right, so I'm gonna, and I saw another question too. They lost the screen a few minutes ago. They can hear but not see. So again, this will be recorded, so you can always come back to it. But let me show you real quick again how to upload things to YouTube here. 1 second. All right, so if you're on YouTube, go back to the beginning of YouTube, so I'm not so far ahead. And you will have to sign into your YouTube account. So if you have problems with that, just let me know. But then on the top right here is an upload button. I click on that. And it says select files to upload. If I just click on that arrow, it's going to open up my Finder window to find all of the things I have available. And I have to know where I save these videos. In this case, my computer breaks it down for me nicely, so I could click movies that I've made. Again, if you recorded your video somewhere else, you just have to know where you put it. I'm just going to do this for the sake of showing you the full step process of how to put these movies onto YouTube. So I'll probably pull up one. It'll probably be one of my kids playing around. If it catches up with me. All right, it's going a little slower than I had hoped. But what I would do is I would choose the video, I would click open or submit or whatever your computer tells you to do, and then it will, just as before we saw with the Screencast-O-Matic, it'll just upload it over time. What you will want to do is then hit publish. Just to show those steps, I'm going to pull up another video where I know where one is. It'll just take 1 second here. So here's one of my daughters. She loves to perform.
Hi guys.
Oh. So what I did was I just one other option again is to drag and click it right into that arrow, and it will upload it for you. So as you can see now, the upload status is moving. Once, at any point in time, I can retitle it, and I can hit the publish button, and then it will go directly onto YouTube. I am going to change the privacy on this one to private because I don't want the video of my daughter out there for everybody to search for, or I'll probably take this down when I'm done, but this just kind of shows you that step-by-step how to do so. Someone else had a question. I just realized that I had turned off screen sharing to show you me, and then I didn't turn screen sharing back on as I walked through this process. So I apologize for that. Let me do it one more time real quick. So again, we'd go to upload, click that upload button. I would find files by clicking on here, find the files on my computer, hit open, or in what I just did before was just pull the file, and then moving things that I want to. And then as we saw before, it was uploading. I would click the publish button. So, all right. I'd like to show you a couple examples of some kind of different kinds of videos we can use. Are you guys seeing the screen now? If I can have one person tell me yes. Okay, we got some yeses. There they are. Cool. So a couple of different types of videos. So this is like a welcome overview type video that I did. And my youngest daughter was like, I really want to be in your video with you. So I said, sure. It was for a class I was teaching on gender roles. So I thought it would be perfect.
Hey everybody. This week we're going to talk about the family roles, gender roles. And I brought my little buddy here to help out. This is Ava. And as you can see, we're going to see Ava a little bit. She is expressing some gender roles as it is, right? She's wearing pink, she has long hair, and honestly, what's your favorite princess?
Snow White.
Snow White is her favorite. She knows all about these gender roles. She loves Disney movies. We don't necessarily try to create these gender roles in our family. We don't try to not create them either, though. We try to create an environment where they can explore the things they want to explore, but naturally, the family starts to create some of these things. She happens to be more into princesses and.
All right, so you can see here again, being active, bringing in some additional visuals, in this case, my own daughter, because it's relevant, right? That's one way you can do these types of things, weekly overview. It can be just you talking, that's okay. But again, be active, be you, be personal, make a connection with them. Here's an example of me using Screencast-O-Matic to talk about, I have students do a history of like psychology type essay. So I give them this example. I want you to look at a timeline and analyze it and look for themes. So I give them this example to kind of present them some information. This is, again, shows you how Screencast-O-Matic can be used. We're using both an image and the person in the corner there.
So I pulled up this industrial organizational psychology timeline because I think it does a really good job of not only analyzing the major events in IO psychology, like here, 1945, the American Psychological Association had its own division. So it really makes it real. Okay? But it talks about things that happened before that. 1941, World War II starts. So what is industrial organizational psychology? Well, it's understanding how to maximize human potential. Often in the business world, but in this case, let's think about it from the perspective of World War II. Where do we need to maximize our human potential? Well, our soldiers. And also in the business world, where we need to create, all these things for the soldiers to use, the weapons, the uniforms, the helmets, all these different things that they need. We need to maximize to make sure that we're doing those things.
All right, so I want to show this one again because it shows that combination of tools, but it also shows me doing two things. It shows me being me. I have a lot of ums, a lot of little hesitations. I didn't try to make it perfect because I wasn't worried about that. If I'm lecturing in a classroom, if I make a little mistake, I don't say, oh, hold on, I got to start over and do it all over again. No, you have to be you, right? And that's okay in an online video as long as you're not having huge mistakes. The other thing it's showing me doing is deconstructing, again, this image. It's saying, hey, here's this piece, and really using it in different ways. So it's not just an image for fun, but it's something that can be useful. One more quick example, and this is just an example of me having some fun with the webcam.
This is Tommy. This is Susie. Tommy is currently presenting his public self. He is meeting Susie at work. His job is to sell things. So he's saying, "Hi, Susie. Nice to meet you. Would you like to buy my product?" Susie says, "Sure." Tommy's public self is a persona that he wants to present to her in order to sell products. But in reality, Tommy also has what's called a private self. Private self is much more like this. Someone Tommy only feels comfortable being himself around people he knows very well.
All right. So you can see again, another example of just having some fun with it, doing something a little different. Think outside the box a little bit. I grabbed some toys from my kid's room and made something that demonstrated this important concept in psychology. That hey, sometimes we have to act differently on a job interview, on a first date, all these different places. But it allowed me to present this in a way that's different than just writing, here's the definition of public self, here's the definition of private self. And it provided the students with some information that may otherwise be a confusing concept. Now it makes sense. It clicks. All right. So those were the videos I wanted to show. So again, I've talked about using Screencast-O-Matic, using YouTube, how to make these things engaging. I hope they feel a little more comfortable. I want to again emphasize, the more you use these, the better off you'll be. The more comfortable you with them. The other thing I want to emphasize is create videos that you can reuse. So, don't say, hey, Merry Christmas, everybody, because then you can only use it around Christmas time. Or, don't add components that put a timestamp on it. In the course I'm teaching right now, I recently popped up a video about reinforcing the importance of checking their feedback on the gradebook. It took me like 2 seconds to do. It's a 20-second little video, but it was something that I could pop up on the announcement page because I noticed, hey, some of my students aren't improving from week to week based on the feedback I'm giving them. So here's something to just say, hey, remember to do this. And I created that probably a couple years ago, but now I can reuse it every class that this becomes an issue in, or if I really want to reinforce that point, I can reuse it. So again, 2 key points to keep in mind. Don't worry about it being perfect, and practice. So actually I should set 3 points. Don't worry about being perfect, practice, and make videos that you can reuse in different ways. Okay, you're going to save yourself time and energy as you go through. All right. Again, I want to open it up for questions. We have about 27 minutes left in what this was scheduled for. I planned on it going early, 1, for question time, and 2, because I'm hoping that you'll use, you've scheduled this time away for yourself, that you'll use whatever like 15, 20 minutes we have left at the end to just actually go to Screencast-O-Matic, practice with it, create a video. It doesn't have to be something you're going to use, but just play around with it. See how it goes. See what you like about it, what you don't, so that when you are ready to create something for your class, you'll be much more comfortable doing so. All right, so what questions do you have? All right, it doesn't look like any questions are coming up. If you do have specific questions or if you need additional advice, 2 things you can do. 1, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help. I can create, a screencast of something specific. Another thing you can do, a lot of times what I will do is I'll Google something just to say, how do you do that again? What is the best way? What are the, because I don't always remember all the steps in line. So I'll Google either how to do it, or I love to also use a website called WikiHow. And a wiki is just a crowdsourced tool, so a lot of people can share in it. So I want to WikiHow create a Screencast-O-Matic. and I can go there, and here's 3 ways to create a screencast. Here's how to record a Screencast-O-Matic. Here's another tool you can actually use, which is Jing. It's like Screencast-O-Matic. It only allows you to do 5-minute videos, though. How to screen share on Google Hangouts. So maybe you're connecting with students. So I might even find other tools I hadn't even thought about just by searching for it a little bit. There's the internet has so much powerful information out there. Don't be afraid to go and explore it and see what you can find. If you find something really cool, please share it back so I can share it with everybody else. And again, if you're not sure, or if you're searching and you're still struggling, let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and finish things up unless we have any last second questions. And as I'm waiting to see if any last second questions come in, again, I want to encourage you to use this extra 20-25 minutes that we have, that you scheduled away for this, to practice a little bit, use some of these things, and just get used to using these tools. I haven't seen any questions coming in. I will go ahead and stop the recording, and again, I'll share this recording out so you have this as a tool to look at as well. And I apologize for that little blunder there in the middle where I forgot to screen share again on how to upload. If anyone's still confused on how to upload a video directly to YouTube from your computer, let me know. I can send you step-by-step directions. So, all right, thank you, everyone.